Okay, just thought I'd show you guys what I'm doing. I am doing a Sous Vide Delmonico ribeye tonight. Delmonico's got the big shoulder cut, the spinalis on the left there, or the right. This one had some amazing marbling. I went to the West Side Market in Cleveland and picked the best steak in there. Anyway, I got my pot of water. You can cook this right on the countertop. Just put a towel down just so it doesn't heat the formica up too much. This is the Anova Immersion cooker. I have it set at 128 because I found that gives me a real nice medium rare. This is a Delmonico. I normally go like 126. I'm going 128. I want to melt a lot of that fat marbling in the steak and have it run throughout. I've seasoned it really good, so pretty healthy dose of seasoning because a lot of it's going to come off. It's going to mix with the juices, and when you pull the steak out, you're going to lose a lot of seasoning. And I might actually usually re-season later. I just use a chip clip, one of these little guys. It's an OXO chip clip with the magnets. I keep these on my fridge, and I pin the bag to the side. I try to get all the air out, but the way I do that, I don't have a vacuum machine. I just put the steak in, and then I lower it into the water, and the water pushes the bag against the steak, and then I seal it up once it's in the water. So that works. Anyway, 128, I've already got the water warmed up. I used hot water from the tap. Plus I just started this before I made the video, but you just set your temperature. You set your temperature with this little dial here. See, so 128, you start it. And then it's something like really anywhere over an hour. I'm probably going to go an hour and a half or so, and then it's time to sear it. And I'll show you how I'm searing it. Over here, I have one of these Lodge cast iron pans. I do recommend getting a handle for it, especially if you've never used cast iron pans. If you've never used cast iron pans, you got to season your pan first. There's plenty of videos on how to do that. But you'll be used to a normal handle on a pan that isn't hot. The cast iron pan will be as hot as the friggin' cooking surface almost. The first time you grab that, you will put a sear on your hand and you will not forget it. So I recommend getting a little handle. This is just a little silicone one. It's still going to be pretty warm, but you'll be like, oh yeah, it's warm. And then you'll need, to lift it off, you'll need a pot holder on the other side. Anyway, you want to get this to a pretty hot temperature, and I don't put the oil in it yet until the pan's good and hot, and I just feel how hot it is by putting my hand about 6 inches over the pan. If I can feel the heat radiating pretty good, I know it's hot. Then I put the oil in. I'd recommend a higher smoke point oil. I'm using olive oil because I'm actually out of sunflower oil, which is really good. It's a higher smoke point, so you can get a hotter pan before you start getting the wisps of smoke. And then you want to wait. You want to put a couple tablespoons in the bottom of the pan, and you want to wait until you see wisps of smoke. Then you drop your steak in. That's how you know the pan's real hot, and any more you're going to scorch your oil. So you get wisps of smoke, you drop your steak in, and the key is you don't touch it. You don't touch it until it's ready to flip. But you want a really hot pan because we're going to flip it within 30 seconds to a minute. Same thing on the other side, and then it's going to be ready to eat. That's a reverse sear because we're cooking the steak first and then we're searing it. Anyway, we'll be back when it's ready. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half. You can leave it in there for up to 4 hours, I think, and it'll be the same temperature basically. That's the cool thing. So you can take a shower, clean something, do some laundry, whatever. It's ready when you're ready. So, which is also neat by getting ready for the sides. So I'm going to light the burner here, and we're going to get the cast iron hot. It takes about 5 minutes or so. So we're going to get that hot. Then I'm going to put the oil in. I'm not going to get it hot while the oil's in there because I don't want to scorch the oil. And then sear it 30 seconds to a minute on each side, and it'll be ready to serve. Okay, so we got wisps of smoke, so here we go. Hear that sear, that sizzle? So you know the pan's good and hot. And we're not going to move it around at all for 45 seconds to a minute, and we're going to flip it. Okay, it's been about 45 seconds, now we flip. Look at that beautiful crust. That's the sear, that's the flavor. Same thing on this side. Okay, well here it is. A slab of meat fit for a king. Beautiful sear on there. I went to do a caprese. I grow basil on my windowsill, and the basil's starting to turn. It's starting to get a real, looks like a gasoline smell to it. So I think I need to plant some fresh basil. I've been growing that since last year. So caprese sans basil. We got a Don Herman's and Sons pickle, really garlicky, real tasty. Piece of baklava from the West Side Market, and let's focus here, original lime daiquiri to drink. There's 3 ingredients in a lime daiquiri. I've got a video on that actually. Just sugar, lime juice, and rum. So anyway, bon appetit. Thanks for watching. Okay, just in case you want to see the middle there. It's a perfect medium rare all the way through. So you won't have like a dark red center and then a sear on the outside. You'll have the same temperature all the way through the sous vide, and then just the sear on top to build the crust. This is tasty, that's for sure. Anyway, have a good night, everybody.